Hi everyone, let's start the class.
Good morning, Chair.
Yes, morning.
Good morning, Chair.
Yes, good morning. So, by the way, where did we finish last week?
Problems and solutions.
Sorry?
Problems and solutions.
Okay, problem and solution. So, I think you have already done opinion, suggestion, view and argument, and problem and solution. Am I right? Okay, great. That's just good. Did I ask you to do any homework?
No, you didn't.
No, Chair.
Yes. Oh, why I was very generous about that? Because I didn't give you homework, right? So that is, I was very generous about that. So do you have any question about that writing? Opinions and suggestion, view and argument, and problem and solution. Is there any question?
Not yet, teacher.
Not yet?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So if I ask you a question, can you answer right now?
But I'm okay, but it might be a little bit difficult.
Yeah, which one is difficult? Let me know that. Which one is difficult?
I was kind of views and arguments. I think that is kind of something kind of like difficult for me. Others are okay.
Can you hear that? Too noisy.
Yes, it is
It is.
indeed.
Can you hear too?
Yes.
Yeah. So Dudal and maybe according to Shinkan, and he is not very clear for view and arguments. Yeah. So Shinkan, which one do you don't understand? Can you tell me page number as well? Page number 99 or 98 or what is this about?
99, 99.
99, right? So which one you don't understand?
Expanding plans.
Oh, yes, expanding the plans, right? So is there anyone who wants to share your knowledge to your friend watching that? Thank you, Shinda, for your questions. Is there anyone who wants to explain, who want to discuss about view and arguments, expanding the plan to Shinda? So Andre, are you there?
Minglawa, Chair.
Inglaba, yes. Can you discuss your friend explaining the plan of view and arguments?
On page 99, right?
Of course it is.
So give me a second, please.
Okay.
To summarize this page in a few sentences, it says in the first paragraph, you can put a general introduction, which talks about the importance of the subject you're on.
Mm.
And then you should also put your opinion in it. And in the second paragraph, you have to make sure you are on the one side of the issue being argued, since this is the argumentative paragraph. And you have to make sure you put views and arguments phrases, addition phrases, and support phrases. So which would make your side look better in argumentative paragraphs.
Sorry?
Yeah. So by adding those, addition phrases and support phrases, those would totally support the idea and the sentences you're talking about.
Okay, so then actually, for explaining the plan for the first paragraph, in first paragraph, you have to write about general introduction, which explain the importance of the subject. It means that what you are going to write it, and you have to put forward your own opinion in the introduction, yeah? And then next one is you have to make sure to include some time fixer, generalization, opinion phrases. That's his introduction, right? And then for the second paragraph, you have to put forward one side, right? And view and argumentative, right? View and arguments writing is you have to write for both sides, right? Both point of view, right? So the second paragraph is talking about, maybe if you think about the pros, and the third paragraph would be cons like that. Okay, so advantage and disadvantage and positive and negative, right? You have to write both of that. And when you write it, you can use the phrases that you are given as the example. And additional phrases, if you want to use some of the additional phrases, you can use furthermore, moreover, and blah, blah. And next one is you have to use support phrases. And for third paragraph, you have to write the different idea from the second one. For fourth one is like conclusion, right? For conclusion, you can write your personal opinion, right? But and for conclusion, you have to remember that your opinion often linked to suggestion. Okay, link to suggestion means that your opinion should link to the previous suggestion that you have already mentioned in the introduction. Is that right?
Yes, teacher. I understand now.
Yes, thank you. Okay, I think no more, right? So how about formal letter? Did we finish formal letter? Formal letter on page number 118. Not yet.
Not yet, teacher.
Yeah.
Not yet. Not yet. Okay, thank you. So let's see the formal letter. So please highlight that, first, second, third paragraph, right? Please highlight third paragraph, second sentence. When you write a formal letter, it should be formal, but not over formal, right? Please highlight that one. And do not include information about previous employment experience or qualifications. Okay. And next one is you have to write simply about yourself. Are you done? Okay. And third one is you have to answer the point in the advertisements. Formal letter is there can be two difference. The first one is applying for your job, and second one would be like you complain to something, you complain to somewhere, you have lost something, and that's why you ask to the manager to for that item or not. right? So formal letter also, it can have different styles, right? But whatever it is, you have to be careful that not over formal, right? And then next one is, okay, so for applying job, okay, to apply a job is you have to answer the points what in the advertisement ask. Next one, please highlight create interest. Okay, you have to create interest. And the last one is modesty is important. So what is the meaning of modesty? What is the meaning of modesty? Hi everyone. Oh my God, very silent. What is the meaning of modesty?
Never heard of it.
Sorry?
Never heard it before.
I didn't catch that. Can you repeat it again?
So, I mean, I never heard of it before.
Yeah, so if you don't know, and then you have to look for in the Google.
Sure, I searched it on Google. It said the quality of stage of being an instrument or moderate in the estimation of one's abilities.
So why it is say that modesty is important?
Teacher, does that mean that not boasting about yourself?
Yeah. So here is the modesty. It's important. Be sincere. Okay. In when you write a formal letter, you must be sincere. You must be honest to yourself. Okay. Like that. Right. So here you are looking for a holiday job and you see these advertisements, and you have to write a lot of application explaining why you think you would be suitable. So when you write a letter for your application, there must be include where you get this one, where did you see that advertisement. You get these advertisements from the public library, or maybe from the newspaper or local newspaper, or your friend passed this news to you or not, right? And then next one is you have to start, applying job is you don't know the manager, the manager or like the director the director is not, and maybe the director or the manager will be Mr. Maybe Mr. or Mrs. you don't know. So you have to write Dear Salmadan. And after that, you can start to write I was interested, blah, 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 blah. And next one is you have to give the impression, but your impression should not be like a brilliant impression to them. Okay. And for example, like you can speak 3 languages. Yes, but you shouldn't boast to yourself. I am good at speaking 3 languages, like that. Okay, instead of saying like that, you better say I enjoy, or my friend tell me that I am good at, like that, right? So be sincere. And then next one is, I think the ending, when you at the ending, you have to sign it. Okay, when you sign, you have to write down your full name. Maybe, for example, if your name is like Shen Dan So, for example, so you have to write down Shen Dan So. You cannot write just only Shen Dan. You have to write down your full name, and beneath that name, and then enter that your signature. You have to write down your full name again with the capital letter. Okay, for example, your full name is Shen Dan, and when you write it, you have to write with a capital letter. S is capital letter. All alphabet must be capital letter. And you have to mention that are you Miss or Mr. in the parentheses, right? So you would see the example, Suzanne Mattis and Suzanne Mattis, and the in parentheses, you see the Miss. Are you okay? This is how to write a formal letter. And now let's go to page number 120. Are you okay? So, dear sir, I was very interested to read your advertisement, blah, blah, blah. So there is a job position where you get, here's a notice board on the public library is where you see that advertisement. And yesterday is like a time, okay, explaining about time, right? And then time phrases. I'm 17 years old is, here it said that state age. So you mentioned you need to sometimes, no, not every time, okay? So sometimes you need to mention that because you are applying for the job. Maybe for example, if you are a man, you are applying for the manager job. So especially maybe here it mentioned the name, the age, but most of the time you don't need to mention it, right? So you would see the example on page number 120. Yeah, please read it yourself. Please read page number 120 example letter.
Share 120 or 128.
120. There is the example letter on 120.
Okay, Chair.
Yeah. Are you done? Hello, are you done?
Yes, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So, Wu Take, can you discuss about the letter on page number 120?
Yes, teacher.
Mm.
Number one, you can state the job, and number two, you can state where you saw the advertisement, and then you can state uh, the time that you saw the advertisement, and then you can state your age, and you can state situation about yourself, and then you can create interest through the contrast and then state quality and ability about you, and then you can write other sports sentences, example two sentences, and then you can appropriate any conclusion.
Okay, thank you. So the ending here is said that the ending is appropriate. When you write a letter here, there are some more notes on page number 121. So the first point, you have to highlight no short forms and no slang. You know, in formal language letter, okay, formal letter, you have to, you cannot use no short form, you cannot use short forms and the slang. Next one is should not be over formal. Then the next point is select 1 or 2 points from the advertisement and expand them. Okay, the next point you must be highlight is remember to start by saying what the advertisement is about, where you saw it. Okay, and fourth point, write about your character and relevant qualities, not a physical description. So the fourth point is remember to ask for more information. Yeah, and then next, yeah, you have to write the ending. Okay, your ending should be a formal ending. And then next is you have to sign the letter with your first and family name. Are you okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. So now let's move on to page number 122. You would see use of descriptive narrative in formal letters. Please read it, and after that we will discuss that. Are you done?
No, Chair. Please give us a minute.
Yes.
Sure. What does slang mean?
Slang. Okay. Suzu, can you explain about what is the slang?
Slang means an informal expression.
Informal expression, for example.
Um,
Oh, teacher, can I say it?
Yep.
The phrase break a leg, does it count as the slang word? You didn't
What is
know.
it? Yeah, can you repeat it again?
Break a leg,
Mm.
does it count as a slang word?
or like a OMG.
Mm.
Oh,
Okay. So then so how about you? Can you say some of the slang words to your friends? Hello, Tendanazo, are you there?
Sure. Well, slang words are both negative and positive side, right? It doesn't
Yeah.
mean negative.
It depending on the meanings.
Oh,
Mm.
Teacher, are slangs also like writing the words in short form?
Mm. Can you say some of the example?
out, like this
hello.
all time.
Mm. You know, like a slang is most of the maybe like
Out, yeah, that was a slang word. I was saying the long form.
yeah, for example, like hey guys. That is I think the nearest words.
Yeah, like what's up?
Yeah, what's up? And then gotcha. You know that? Gotcha. And then hey guys. And then what's up? Like those words are not that those words are slang. Are you okay?
So basically the words are not like grammatically correct, but still the people use it, right?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
There are so many different ones, and like another one is like a jargon. Okay, jargon is especially concerned with the doctor, or maybe they are professional. Maybe the professional people they use the words, they are technical words as the usage for them. That's we call the jargon. Though that such kind some of the jargon words are not appropriate to the in the public, right?
Especially when you meet strangers.
Sorry.
When you meet strangers, it's kind of
Yeah, when you meet the stranger, you shouldn't use jargon and any slangs.
okay, sure.
Yep. Okay. So here, no personalizing. Personalizing is that what to do. And then here, descriptive narrative informal letter is you lost something, right? You lost something and you are going to write a letter to the manager in that hotel. So when you write that one, when you write such kind of letter, okay, not the exactly the same, right? When you write such kind of letter, informal letter to the manager or the boss or anyone else, right? So you have to write down, you have to follow no short forms, no slang, and no personalizing. And next one is what did you lose? Okay, you need to mention that what you lost there. And don't forget to say the rooms you lived. The room you stay, okay, at the hotel. And you have to mention that how should I say, when you notice that you lost that item, maybe that item can be a purse or a book or and like a notebook or an important like a how should I say another things which is important for you. And then when you ask the manager, only just you need to mention why maybe you forgot that one or maybe you lost it. And you don't need to, please don't accuse. Okay, don't accuse to the staff in the hotel. Maybe I think the maybe one of the staff in your hotel took my pass, right? You shouldn't say like that. The next one is you have to decide one how you can get it back. Okay, maybe if you found out my pass, can you please inform to me and then I will come and pick it up. Or so you better send your address where where to send that item. Okay, that's it. And now please repeat number 1, 2, 3. There is the example.
Teacher, can you tell me the page again?
Page number 1, 2. Oh, excuse me. Page number 1, 2, 3. Are you done?
Not yet, Chair.
Okay. Let me know if you're done. Oh, Shantan lost. Oh, here, just nice. See that? I got no notion that. And here is Andre. Cancel him, Andrew. Then that's Susu. Have you finished?
Yes, sure.
Okay, thank you. So how about others?
Nature.
Okay, thank you. So is there any question for page number 1, 2, 3? So the first one is the first paragraph is introduction. I'm ready to inform you that. And next one's the second paragraph is explaining about, the situation while he was staying there. And third one is, when did you notice that? Okay, and then he explained that why that item is very important to him. Okay, and then next one is and then the last one is ending. And then if so, I should be grateful if you would forward it to the above address. Now you need to mention your address and the ending with your name. Do you have any question for that? No more?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. And never be wow. Why it said no need to mention this, honest.
Where is it? 11. No need to mention this 11. Oh, honest. Yep. Because you don't need to boast. You don't need to boast, and you don't need to mention about someone's ability. You are honest stuff. If you say you are honest stuff, you are insulting about others, how should I say, attitude.
Okay, sure.
Yes. Okay. I think no question, right?
Yes, Chair.
Yeah, if so, yeah. If you don't have any more question, I would like to keep on next one. And let me ask you one thing is that have you discussed about school magazine article? Not yet?
Not yet.
Okay, thank you. So now I have already divided into groups. But especially there is no breakout room, so I couldn't do it. But here I think I will give you the page number. You have to read it, and I give you the time. And after the time, we will meet it again and to start to discuss it, right? Okay, please write down Alinga, Nuno, and Shintat. You have to read page number 124 to 128. For 128. For 128, you have to read only just, let me see. For 128, you have to read only just body of magazine article. Lenga, Nuno, and Shinta, do you see that one? You have to start to read page number 124 to 128. But for 128, you have to read only just the beginning. I mean, the beginning that, you would see the body of magazine article. You have to read that one. Okay, Thai Ball School is for another job, another group, right? I think you know it. So now you can start to read it. Menta Hantu and Wawete, are you there?
Yes.
Yeah. So you have to read page number 128 to 130. Okay. Let's see. On 130, you would see number 2 and 3. Only just you must finish there. Right? You have to read till 1, 2, 3 and exercise 1. That's it. Maybe dealing with problem and solution is related to another group. And then, any question?
Should only do exercise 1.
Yeah, only the exercise, till the exercise 1.
Okay. So
And then next one is 134. You would see here your name and the pages that I sent it to you on in this room chat, in the Zoom chat. So Andre, Kanzalhe, and Andrew has to read page number 130 and 131, and then example 135. So Tinta, Nazo, and Suzu has to read 132 and 133, then page number 136. Are you okay?
Teacher, can you tell me the pages of my group? I'm confused.
Yeah. I have already sent it to you, the Zoom chat. Do you see that?
Oh, which one, Jeff? Page 130 or 132? Which one?
130, no, 130, 130 and 131 and 135. Okay. So also you can see the list in the chat box. I have already sent it to you. Can everyone see it? Hello.
Yes, teacher, we can see it.
Okay, thank you. Please tell me response, right? If you don't respond, I don't know. I'm not sure that you whether you get or not. So I'll give you 10 minutes to read the pages, and after that, let's start discussions. Hello, are you all done?
I'm still weak.
Okay, let me know if you're done. Okay, I'm waiting here. Hello, are you done?
Almost done.
Okay, thanks, Minda, for your reply. I think it should be done. Hello?
Sure. I almost finished, but can you give us some 1 minute or 2 minutes?
Oh, okay. Yes. Thank you. Thanks for your opening your heart.
Sure, I'm done with it.
Okay, great, Mindan. Okay, so Alinganuno and Shintan, your page number is 124 to 128.
Yes.
Yeah, so who would like to discuss first from page number 124 and 125?
So I will start first.
Okay, yes. Hi everyone, please listen to Shintan and then you better you better highlight what Shintan discussed.
So school magazine articles. What is a school magazines? So school magazine is usually produced once a year and is printed on good quality paper, often with colors photographs. It contains information about news and retired members of staff and like the school proms, societies, sports, school trips, both like the abroad. And for the school magazines are mainly written by students for students. So the right approach when writing a school magazine articles, do not give the expressions that you expect, and be enthusiastic. And when you write, it must be something you're enthusiastic about the family beliefs to the school magazines. And if you want your article to be printed in your magazines, which consisted of students and 1 or 2 members of staff, and reads everything and selects the best. And be interesting. The most of the readers are at school with you, so be careful not to give them apology lessons. For example, if you are right about smoking or keeping fit, you have to present informations from more interesting angles. Personalizing is emphasizing any points you have in common with your readers. So try to replace I to whenever possible with we. So this has the effect on personalizing the articles. And register in school magazine articles. The register in a school magazine article can be very varied. Where much depends on some topics can be treated and can be written in formal, friendly registers. And the format of a school magazine articles, like school magazine articles, can be divided into different sections, like the titles, introductions, body, and ending. So for the titles, from the very beginning, show the examiner that you know exactly what you're doing. Try to think of effective, interesting titles. For example, like the teenagers' viewpoints and the teenage views. Yes, yeah, that's all.
Okay, thank you. So who want to continue, Nono and Alinga?
Me, teacher.
Yes.
About the introduction, the paragraph should be a little bit personal so the reader can relate it to it. And also, don't give too many personal titles because the reader is not gonna read alone. So give some familiarity belongings. And if the title is about disadvantages of TV, then you should inform the reader about it is too dangerous to watch the TV a lot. And also informing the reader about the educational benefits of watching TV, since you should add both advantages and disadvantages. Both advantages and disadvantages of television, and also warning the readers about the disadvantages of TV and advantages as well. And about the transition, introductions are usually followed by questions, so you can ask questions about it.
Yes.
For example, like no stress, though we all wish we could say this every day of our lives in minute. Nowadays, stress seems to be one word that's on everybody's mind. That is the article on stress, like we can all relate it to stress. The reader can think about it and relate it to it, so that is accurate. And an article on health or beauty, look into in stress. Well, don't worry, you need not spend the entire evening in the bathroom. There are like 2 articles about stress and health or beauty. The same title is about stress, but there are 2 different ways of showing the meaning of stress. And also about an article about Kano holidays. Want to experience the joys of the countryside? There's nothing to beat a Kano holiday to take you closer to nature. That is about the holidays. It's kind of related to advertisement or something like that.
Okay.
And also the ending. The ending should be summarizing the article and express your opinion until the end and leave the reader about something to think, like a question or something like that. Yes, teacher, that's all.
The last one, body of
Body of magazine article.
Hmm.
Sure.
Yeah, I think no want to explain that.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Thank you, Linda. Right.
Let's look at the ending of the articles outlined and body of magazine article before you begin the basic ideas for a serious format or a light-hearted informant article will be the same, but need to be adapted to the question according to be the same. Also, to register and before you begin, you must decide whether you can treat the topics in a large-hearted way. We are not, and we are not because it is easier to write a serious article, but more interesting to write in a light-hearted way.
Okay. And for the body of a magazine, you have to highlight a serious format or a light-hearted informal article. Right, so when you write the article, you have to be careful that what kind of article. Are you going to write a light-hearted article or formal article? You must know yourself, right? Okay, thank you. Now let's start from 1 to 8 minutes. That hand to I will wait. Take who is going to start first? Hello? Oh, yes.
Type our school magazine article question. Many type our school magazine article question you can be asked to answer in a question in the exam, including the
Yes.
following: giving your view or opinion, and putting forward argument for and against, and dealing with problem and solution, and then giving advice, making suggestion, and narrative, something sometimes referred to in the question as an account. Giving your view or opinion, putting forward arguments for and against. The instruction words are the same as those used for formal writing, and the topic will be about the nature. This type of question evoke a formal body between an information, instruction, and introduction and heading. Well, the effect, or look at the kind of question. The effect of water science, the effect of car on the environment, single sex school, tourism, compulsory competitive things for at school, and then the importance of careers. That's it.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.
Mm.
I want to ask Andrew if he want to start off. I will offer a choice.
So you mean that you want Hantu, you want to give Hantu a chance first?
Yes, sure.
Oh, okay, yes, Hantu.
Okay, now let's look at the question based on the past Asian paper and write an article for your school magazine about the effect of tourism on your country, putting for your ideas and arguments. For the body of this type of article, begin by writing the first three paragraphs of use and argument composition. On the first paragraph, a general introduction explaining the importance of the subject. Make sure you include the following. Time visit. For example, nowadays, these days, recently until now, in the past 20 years ago, in the last 5 years, generalization, for example, like nearly all, many, a large number of servers. On the second paragraph, must put forward one side of the issue being argued. For example, the argument in favor make sure you include the following. Use an argument phases. Example, one of the main arguments in favor of blah blah is that or some people will argue that blah blah is it a fact that blah blah.
Mm.
Finding point addiction is like furthermore, moreover, what is more for beside. Support phrases like which this which or this, which mean that this mean that as a result. Concept. And on the third paragraph, and put forward the other side of the issue being argued. For example, the argument against makes you can include the following like joining point contrast is that on the other hand, however, nevertheless, and do an argument phrase like one of the main arguments against blah blah is that, or it can be argued that blah blah, or it has been said that blah blah. And joining point addiction like furthermore, moreover, what is more or beside. Support phrases like which this, which mean that, this mean that as a result, consequently. And that's it.
Okay, yes.
And we let the Minda continue another part.
Yes, okay, great. Minta.
For composition to school magazine article, there's a 3 listed below, and then number 1 is add a school magazine article introducing without a clear explanation of the topic. Like, have you ever been a tourist, and did you consider yourself as a man? And then the second one is the end of the introduction phrases, and insert the translation session to prefer the video for what is to come. Do we really want to be floated with tourism? Tourists perhaps it's time that we stop to consider the negative aspect of tourism. And the third one is after the formal controversial phrases, write school magazine articles and for instance, and next time you go abroad, remember to behave the way you would like to see tourist behavior. Uh, should I also explain the one from page 134? I guess.
Yes, yes.
Um, for page from page 134, the question is to write articles of your school's magazine about the effect of tourism on your country and putting forward your ideas and arguments. So for number 1 is problems called tourism is a good title, and you need to it's making you wonder how tourism can be a problem and general topic. And for number 2 is one was the last time you traveled abroad, and did you follow the rules of the place and respect the environment? This is nice and school magazine articles introductory question. And for number 3 is if you didn't then you out of to take it is some thoughts, and it is a unclear translation, so you should change it with if not, and bear these points in mind the next time you go aboard. And here number 4 is recently is a time fixer, and number 5 is that there has been a great increase in the tourist industry is explaining the problems. And number 4, a large number of is generalization. And number 7, it has been argued that so it is a view or arguments or phrases. So the first points are gonna be in favor. And then for number 8, furthermore is introduction of the second point in favor. And the number 9 is leading to its support phrase. The number 10, which is the reason for is number 9,
Controversy. Yeah.
controversy and view. On the other hand, it's like the view or argument phrase is the first point of the against, and the aside is the introduction of second point against tourism, and the you don't want the people to think you don't care about the environment, do you? Is school magazine articles, and so for the general comments, this is a very good decent article, and then this is good introduction using questions to involve the reader, and the subject is treated in serious way. The students has included good view and argument session, and will use the use or support and formal register, and the ending contain the informal register and address in the reading the reader directly. That's it.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there any question, anyone? Is there any question for giving your view or opinion, putting forward argument for and against? Any question? Oh my God, there's no one to answer that.
No question, Chair.
Yeah, thank you. So now let's move on to next one. Page number 130 and 131, and then 135. (130) and 131 and 35 is Andre, Cancel, he, and Andrew.
I will read the first page, Chair.
Okay. You are reading or you are explaining?
Oh, no, I mean discuss.
Okay, thank you.
Sorry.
Yes.
Dealing with problems and solution. So in this topic, the paragraph is stated about the advantages and disadvantages of driving a car. So it says in the instructions that many students hope to have their own cars one day, which means that students want freedom and they want to be able to go out anytime and anywhere, or because they don't want to rely on parents and public transport, which is a positive fact about wanting to drive. But on the other hand, those people should be educated, and they must be aware of the problems which cars cause the environment. So when you're gonna talk about this topic, you must be careful not to make your article look like a lesson, so readers won't continue reading it, and you also have to grab their attention. And you also should not begin with anything negative or too serious. And also you should not begin with a formal introduction. And your introduction should be suggestions of cars, why cars are bad and how driving should be banned, but not in a boring way. And also you must write how they should not feel annoyed by an article, and readers, and you have to write convincing the reader about your opinion and facts in a paragraph, so your readers would continue read. And your article have to be factual and readable and not boring at the same time, so the reader would accept the fact that your informations are correct and true. So this is how you should write a paragraph about this.
Okay. So, Cancel, he, and Andrew.
I will discuss the 131.
Okay.
So when you write dealing and problems and solution kind of article, step one, before you begin, you want to list your real feeling because it will help you about the topic. You should list your real feeling in your point of view. For example, if you are a young person, you want to list your young person point of view. For example, I don't care if the car exhaust cause air pollution. I want to drive so I can visit my friends whenever I want, because I can afford public transport, because I'm fed up relying on mom and dad to take me everywhere, because I want to be independent. My brother drives and so my parents. So why shouldn't I? All we hear about these days is the environment. So step two, make sure you begin with the school magazine article introduction. Try not to write something the reader can edit. Try to write something the reader can identify with. So, and this may be complete opposite of the theme of the article. For example, how many of you are counting the days until you can drive? It's like trying to have the reader's attention. Another example is how many of us are near reaching driving age? Are you looking forward to getting behind the wheels of your very first own car, or even taking your dads out for a run? And be honest, how do you often daydream about being at the wheel of an open-top sport car when you should have revising your business studies? These involve the reader and make them want to continue reading. So after that, step three is when you have reader's attention, you slowly bring back to the main topic, the reality of so
Yeah.
when you have readers' attention, you slowly bring them back to the main topic, introduce them to the topic you are going to talk about, but by using a transition sentence. For example, but have you ever thought to consider the downside of driving? Another example is, but how often do we stop to think of the damage cars are doing to the world we live in? And step four is look again at the conclusion what's in the question. Decide which format of formal writing is required. It's like problem and solution suggestion. You should plan out the paragraphs.
Mm.
And step five is write an ending to school magazine article. So it's like, for example, so when you do actually get behind your own steering wheels, remember to consider the environment and heavy driving. That's all, teacher.
Okay, thank you. So, Cancel Hey. Oh, yeah. Cancel Hey. How about where is it? Can you discuss 135? Yes.
It's about a school magazine articles, and the topic is the best way to revise for exams. And first, if you have been feeling back at with your own sweet at hearing the word exam, get rid of yourself. A solution has been found. You will not have to worry about exam anymore after reading this page, and is that excellent introduction because it used sweet and filling baguette. Actually, our sweet and it's not filled the baguette, so it used funny word and created interest. And study is the key word. Why study is the key word? Because when we are going to take the exam, so we need to study fast. So it use short, simple, and direct word to enter into the topic. All of us, or at any rate, most of us study before the exam, but how well we study is important. To study, and study is the repetition. And you should be in a state of concentration, and it's the same meaning which you should concentrate. So trying to find a quiet world room to walk in while you are in, it means that at the same time, and you might as well get rid of your MP3 player, and it will not help your which grammar. Get rid of is the family registered. So it's good, and the best thing you can do in revision and revise is repetition. And your note every week and ask your teacher if you find anything that is not clear. You might also consider making a revision timetable. It could be very helpful in shooting out your time. It means that timetable can help you to shoot out time. And if I were you, I would not only stick to my notes, but also other references like course book and exercise book that will help in increasing your knowledge and help in increasing is the same meaning which help to increase. And conclusion, if you take some of this advice, you might actually be going into the exam with a smiling on your face, and it use if and blah 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 phrase is a lovely ending and nice idea sure to appear to other students. And good use of exclamation mark to indicate how unlikely this would be. Actually, I didn't understand this sentence very much, so that is.
Okay. So now when you read the question, for example, the sample question, you better read the question first, write an article for your school. Before you write the letter, you have to read the question very carefully. So you have to write an article for your school magazine about the effect of tourism on your country. It says put in forward your ideas and arguments. So that is put in forward and argument style. For 135, you have to write an article for your school magazine giving advice and suggestion on the best way to revise for your exam. So it said that give advice and suggestion. So you have to write the style of giving advice and suggestion. You must know that. So now let's move on to 132 and 133 and then 136. Then the 9 Suzu.
So there should be 2 or 3 paragraphs, which include serious advice phrases. So sorry, teacher, I'll start again. So most of the subjects you are asked to write are familiar to students. So the main point is to start with a fascinating approach so that the readers will not get bored. You are likely to ask to write about tips for exams, pros of sports, pros of healthy eating, the side effects of watching too much TV, ways to make schools better, what we can acquire from having discipline at schools, and how school uniforms influence us. So at first, grab the reader's attention with a light-hearted introduction. write 1 or 2 transition sentences so that the readers will know what's coming next. And there should be 2 or 3 paragraphs which include serious advice phrases. So support your advice and personalize to keep your readers engaged. Last but not least, conclude your writing with an appropriate ending for a school magazine. So in narrative writing, if you wrote in an eloquent and chatty style, an account of a trip would be a resounding success. So because you are telling your friends the story of it, so the method should be as identical as your feeling on the trip. So next is Dana's turn.
I'm gonna explain page 133 and 136. In page 133, do not worry if this seems impossible to write a narrative to achieve. And remember that accounts of trips are basically descriptive narrative style, and at the same time, school magazine articles. And you should include, the first one is an introduction, which sets the scenes by giving an indication of the, for example, the weather, the time of years, on a cold Saturday morning in November, or on the last day of the summertime. And you can also put the number of students and teachers, and the type of transport, the general mood or atmosphere. And the next one is a selection of small, probably amusing incidents with no consequence. In other words, interesting but not very important. And the next one is a serious section describing the things you saw or the places you visit. And you can also put some references to members of staffs and other students to passing likes, and an ending which says how enjoyable or successful the trip was.
Okay, thanks.
In page
Yeah, 136, yep.
in page 136 and in question 3, we have to write an article for our school magazine and suggest how to improve school. And in comment section for number 1, instead of using though, it's better to use but. And in second one, without being overdone, is the use of excellent information. In number 3 is first suggestion. It would be nice is a correct use of second conditional tense. And the fourth one is second suggestion. I think that should be changed. And for number 5 is how about, it means another advice or suggestion phrase. And you, when you want to put some suggestion phrase, and you can use how about. In general comments, it says that the paragraph is a very good article, and the introduction is direct and easy for students to identify with, and the subject is treated in a light-hearted way, and the suggestions are sensible and expressed with respect, which shows the students understand that the article may be read not only by others students but also by teachers at the school, and there are not many mistakes of any kind. So this is a very good paragraph. That's all, teacher. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, thank you so much. Is there any question for giving advice, making suggestion? And number 4 is narrative. No question, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay, thank you. So, and now let me keep on to 138, book reviews. If you don't have any question, I want to go to a book review. So book review, you have to read it, how to write a book review. To write a book review, you need introduction, and then in introduction, you need geographically and historically of the story. In paragraph 1, the storyline. In paragraph 2, you have to write about the characters. In paragraph 3, memorable incident. And paragraph 4, recommendation. Right, so when you write a book review, you need 4 paragraphs. The first one is introduction. Second one is about the storyline. Third one, the character. And the fourth one is memorable incidents. And the fifth one is recommendation. Okay, you better note it down in your book, because sometimes book review is like, sometimes you would be asked to write a book review. Okay, but actually book review is not, how should I say, at least, book review is a rare question, but you need to prepare for that, right? So in introduction, you have to write about, what is the book title and who is the author of the book, and after that, the genre of the book. Is it drama or romance or thriller or a modern one? And after that, you have to write about you have to write about the geographically and historical of the book. Okay, so but for paragraph 1, let's go to paragraph 1, the storyline. When you write the storyline, you have to highlight. Do not tell the story. Okay, don't tell the story. What you have to do. So if you don't tell the story, what you have to do is you have to tell the beginning and the end of the book. Okay, so you have to write down the difference between the beginning and the ending. So you should start with the novel trace outline, sketches follow the life of blah blah blah, and then you can see the example. And second one is paragraph 2, the characters. So when you describe about the character, what you need to be careful is that you don't need to describe all the characters, right? Among those, you have to choose only just 1 or 2 or 3. Here you see the example. The novel contains a variety of well-drawn characters, such as Tom, the stable boy who showed that moral values and compassion are more important than social position, and William, right? So when you mention about the characters, there is the example. So there are many well-drawn blah blah blah, such as character names. You can write on the character names, character's occupation and age or personality. Or the role play means that what is their position, what is their character in the book, and after that you can explain with who blah blah blah, right? And then another character. So then paragraph 3, memorial incident. When you write a memorial incident, it is a good idea to choose a suitable incident before the exam. That's the points you have to be careful, because in the exam, if you are asked to write about the memorable and incident, that will be difficult to remember, because you cannot reread the book again, right? That's why you need to practice. You need to practice how to write a book review. And here are some tips how to make your choice. So the first one, you have to remember that the reader may not be familiar with your selected novel, and then do not include reference to a large number of characters. That's you have to include, okay? So you shouldn't write so many characters, okay? So many characters of your book. For example, here, Mary, Jack's younger sister, decide to rape revenge on then Jane, and then Mary's husband, okay? You don't need to write down every single character's name. Okay, so now let's go to page number 140. On 140, do not refer to earlier event that the reader will not be aware of. You shouldn't say Jane wants to help Rachel because of what her father had. So you have to say that one of the most memorable moment in the novel was, we call that, that's like climax. Climax means the highest feeling of the book, the most memorial feeling of the book, right? And you here see the example, one of the incident I shall never forget. One of the incident which made a lasting impression on me. I think one of the best parts in the book is, so you can write the incidents like that. You can start your incident like that. And for paragraph 4 is like recommendation. When you write a recommendation, you shouldn't write, oh, I like this book. This book is very nice. Okay, you are not speaking, right? You are writing. So you have to say that anyone with a taste for adventure, you need to mention that, you know, in your recommendation, you have to mention the how should I say, the result after reading that story, what kind of benefit you have got, right? So anyone with a taste of adventure, anyone with a taste of thriller, okay, would certainly enjoy the first moving action of blah blah. And next one is this novel, as with all classic, has a message relevant to today. So this is giving message, right? So only just recommendation is look like you are telling the reader, you are telling your Ismaila about the message what the book gives you. Okay, and then next one is what the message. This is the power of love or the mystery of life or anything else. Is there any question till now for that?
Not yet, teacher.
Not yet. Okay, so I want to give you homework exercise 1. Using the information given above, you have to write a review of a book you have read recently, saying why you enjoy it. Okay, so you have to write a book review. Choose the book you want first, and after that, read it. After reading that book, you have to write according to the instruction. Okay, so introduction, paragraph 1, the introduction, storyline, the characters, memorable incident, and then the last one is recommendation. Is there any question for that?
Not yet, sure.
Not yet. Okay, the question is on page number 140. Okay, so you have 2 homework. The first one is I have already sent it to you. You have to write, now I'm going to write it, homework. And what is it? The application form. The application letter. Letter N. The second one here is book review. $140.
Teacher, when is it due, Chair?
Today is Monday, right? So Judy is on Saturday. Maybe Saturday or Sunday. Due or submission is what is today? 6th, right? Today is 10, so 15. 15 1st, 2022. Are you okay?
Yes.
Yeah, any question for that?
Not yet, teacher.
Okay. So when you have to read a job vacancy, and then you would see the position, where is it, and then job specification. Let's see how many of you can get the target of the advertisements. Okay. So any more questions?
Not yet, sure.
No more, right? Okay, if you say no more, that's it. Bye for today. See you tomorrow.
Chair, where is Joe's position?
Job position is in the advertisement. I have already sent it to you on Fiverr, and you can check it out there.
So do we have to write on that
On that advertisement.
Oh, okay. So 2 writing in total.
Yes, to writing, right? So the first one is application formal form. Okay, especially a formal application letter, and then next one is book review. Okay. Any question? Any question?
No more, Chair.
Okay, so we better say bye today. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Yes.
Sure.
Fine, Chair.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.
You're welcome. Thank you.